When they'd come to speak, my parents would have them over to our house. They'd sleep at our house. And it was a wonderful thing for us kids because we got to know some of these missionaries, and we found out early, wow, these are real people. They aren't freaks. You know, they actually talk about things and problems, and they have struggles too, and I'd hear my parents visiting with them about them. And their kids weren't always the best behaved. They were just like us. And God gave me a heart for missions through having these missionaries in our home. God calls us to share. So you get this big picture. God's people are managers, and they're managers over all they do. The Apostle Paul put it this way. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. Do not cause anyone to stumble, whether Jews or Greeks or the church of God, even as I try to please everyone in every way, for I am not seeking my own good, but the good of many, so that they may be saved. Follow my example as I follow the example of Christ, says Paul. See, Paul was sold out to Jesus. And once he had thought that it was his position and his background and his family and all this that meant something to him. And he says later it was all garbage. The only thing that had value for Paul at that point was his relationship with God. See, Christ sees our bankrupt lives, and he offers to buy us out with his own Son, Jesus Christ. He becomes the owner, and we simply become the managers. So what difference does it make in the way you and I live? Well, we stop trying to earn our success or our significance or our security by more things and by more money. We find it all in Jesus. That's the key. That's why people could sincerely say, for I am not seeking my own good, but the good of many. That's why Paul could say that, so they may be saved. We find that freedom and contentment in Christ. It comes from a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. You know Barnabas, that encourager in the Bible? He's most likely the one that wrote Hebrews. And he says this, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. See, it's walking in that close relationship with Jesus Christ that we find real security, that we don't have to run around fearful, always wanting more, thinking our security is going to come from having more. Our security is in Jesus Christ. And our confidence is in Christ. Instead of fearing man, we fear God. Our confidence is in our relationship with God. So we say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can mere man do to me? What can man do to me? My confidence is in God, the living God. A lot of people buy things because they're afraid of what people will think if they don't. So they got to have this name brand thing with this thing planted on their butt or on their lapel or on whatever. It's got to say this, because what if it doesn't and somebody sees it? Oh, whoa, they wouldn't be significant anymore. How sad if our significance has to come from what we wear. Or we buy new cars. What would somebody think if I'm driving an older car? One that's actually paid for. What would they think? No, so we have to go out and buy this certain car to impress people. And good stewardship comes out of honoring God instead of fearing people. When we truly believe that everything we are and everything we own belongs to God, we seek God's will to determine how much is enough for each part of our life. You know, we all have this financial pie. And I got a little video, but I think I'm going to skip it. We just don't have time. And but I'll send it out to you if you want to watch it online. We all have a pie, and we cut it a certain way. And we say, okay, here's for my spending. Here's for my tithe, my giving. Here's for what I owe, my debts, my mortgage, my whatever, my car payment. Here's my taxes. And here's what I save to try to grow. And you know what? How we cut the pie says a lot about where our trust is. What does your pie look like? Well, our pies might be all different sizes, but what are the slices? What are the wedges of the pie look like? Is God getting the little sliver? Is he getting anything? What does your pie look like? What does your stewardship look like? If God owns it all, we need to give as he leads us. We need to save as he leads us. We need to spend as he leads us. We need to seek his will to be good managers of what he's entrusted to us. You know, we have the opportunity to celebrate